Welcome to the Rude Dude Cast. Rude Cast!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 187 of the Rude Cast. It's your boy BMT back here in the saddle with Dr. Dan as we jump into Amazon Prime's Paper Girls Season 1, Episode 5. Let's unpack this bitch on a Friday. Dan, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
We've gone back in time like the girls in the story, time traveling. Your boys here at the Rude Cast have time traveled back to the beginning of this episode because we were 20 minutes in and forgot to hit record. We were actually streaming live somewhere else.
Yeah, I accidentally hit start streaming instead of start recording in OBS, and so it started going live to my Twitch channel. I didn't even fucking realize we were live. So if you go to my Twitch, you can watch the original 20 minutes of this episode. But yeah, we'll just
or maybe 10. I don't know how far we were in.
No, it was like 10. It was less than 10 minutes. It was.
But we are here. Jumping into episode 5 of Paper Girls Season 1, a new period, Dan. Adult Erin leads a daring mission home to 1988 that takes an unexpected turn and leads the girls to KJ's house and a big secret about her future. This episode's in 2 parts. First half of this episode, we get the mech fight battle and all that jam between adult Erin. Larry's there. Larry's dead. Adult Erin dies. Exposition, mech fight. And then we have the girls alone dealing with the fact that they are stuck in 1999. Dan, tell me what you liked about this episode.
So, right off the bat, I thought personally, I know you didn't like the mech fight. I thought the mech fight just was a huge quality jump from what we saw CGI-wise at the end of episode 4 going into episode 5. Like, I just didn't expect it to look as good as it did. Even though, like, it didn't look good by today's standards, it looked good for episode 4 standards. So I was, like, blown away by that. I was like, holy shit, it actually looks better than I thought. One huge complaint that I have that I thought that this
tell me the good. Tell me the good.
Well, I just thought it was
that was
a good
it.
episode. I thought it was a good episode all around.
Another good one. I think they're only getting better. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah, but I do have I will just get my one complaint about this episode out of the way because I would say that this is just a straight up production error that they could have just so easily avoided by just. But it's just such an easy fix. Young Erin, and it's shown blatantly, comes face to face with older Erin, and she's taller than older Erin. Now, normally, if you have, I don't have a problem with the way a character looks, like visible appearance of a character, like Walking Dead comparison. Comic book Negan is like 6'5" and fucking jacked. He's the size of Brock Lesnar, and in the TV show, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is built like a noodle. I don't have a problem with shit like that. But when it's something like this, where it's a character playing a younger version of an older character, just like she should not be taller than the older version of herself.
I didn't catch that at all. Yeah, I missed that.
And it's just like all you have to do is put older Erin on a fucking stool, and it's that easy because, in the shot, her feet aren't in the shot. It would have been so easy to fix. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think that might just come down to like people who are newer in the industry doing this stuff. This is like newer teams. A lot of these directors have only done a few things. This one was directed by Karen Gaviola and written by Kai Wu, Stephanie Folsom, who's doing the whole series, Brian K. Vaughan, and all that. So maybe the director didn't catch that. But yeah, so you liked the CGI. I didn't. I don't even think it was the CGI itself that I didn't like. I think that the mech fight was boring and not really special. And the fact that Erin died was very impactful Same thing with Larry. Larry was just used for exposition and explaining that, putting the girls in the war and why they're there and what they got caught up in. That's was Aaron Larry's character. And we got Erin's story. Erin has seen her future self, and it's clear that she's going to be changing like the way she lives her life, just based off of the fact that she met herself. At least that's how it is presented. The things that I did like about this episode was more building upon their relationships with each other. The show really shines with them paired off in groups of the four of them together, or 2 and 2, Mac and KJ together, or Mac and Erin together, and KJ and Tiffany, or vice versa. I like how Tiffany is slowly becoming is trying to become the technical leader of the group. But like at least she's clearly the glue keeping them together. When they have that big fight and she walks off, they clearly follow her. So
yeah,
I think the show is building their relationships with each other and their dynamic a lot. And I just thought this was like the longest episode of 55 minutes, but the best episode when it came to the quality of the storytelling.
Yeah. I like, speaking of pairings, I really like the Mackenzie Erin pairing because they're just like such an unlikely duo.
Well, they do the thing where one of them softens the other one and the other one hardens the other one.
For sure.
Erin,
and not only that,
Erin softens Mackenzie, and Mackenzie hardens Erin a little bit.
Yes. And from an actor's standpoint too, I think it's the most balanced because I think, like, let's face it, these are really young child actors. And so like they have varying degrees of experience probably. Like I just saw yesterday that like Mackenzie was in like a Terminator movie or something. So she's got some experience under her belt. And it's very clear that
That's funny you said that. Somebody said to me yesterday she looks like John Connor from Terminator. The same haircut and the clothes.
She was in like one of the recent ones, I guess. I guess. I don't know. I saw like a meme of it. I don't know if that, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, she looks like Eddie Furlong.
Yeah. And so like I think she's like the best actor of the four, and I think Erin, ironically, the main character, is the worst of the four in terms of like her delivery. She's like the least convincing, I would say.
Yeah.
And so like just that balance, I think like Mackenzie having scenes with her kind of lifts Erin up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I like the screen time they got together in this episode.
Yeah. I think everybody together was really good. I thought the KJ storyline with her finding out that she gets into filmmaking later on in life and does everything opposite of what her parents expect her to do. That whole scene at the house, Mambo number 5, Lou Bega, hit of the 90s. It's funny when one of our trips to Europe on tour, that song came on and everybody in the van, all the Germans in the van were singing along. I'm like, you guys know this song? Like this song was
a worldwide hit.
It was recorded in Europe and like it was big there too. No, and I always think that's funny when songs like especially from back in that time period, like before the internet songs. Like I feel like with the internet songs going international just seems like obvious with the internet, but before the internet, I feel like it'd be like, oh, this song didn't take off over here as much.
And look at perfect example, like the other way around is like, look at how K-pop is over here. It's huge here now. Everybody knows who fucking like BTS is and stuff. They're like
right
superstars, right? So
exactly. I don't think K-pop would be a thing here without the internet.
No, not.
So we got Lou Bega's Mama number 5. We're at KJ's house. I thought it was cool, so they are stuck in 1999. It was clear that they miscalculated, and everybody's pissed at Tiff about it. And they go to the house. There's like a weird 4th of July luau party thing, and yada yada yada. It's basically there so that we could see KJ see 23-year-old KJ and like how her parents treat her, and how her parents only care about like what other people think on the outside. And between this handling of KJ, the reveal that KJ is homosexual, and that Erin having her first period, these are two storylines that are from the comic book written by 2 men. And this is on the show, directed by women and written by women. And I was watching this with my wife, and that whole scene with the period, the tampons and everything like that, like spot on the nose. Especially since my wife is a pediatrician. She has these conversations with like 12-year-olds all the time. Like,
True.
these kids. It was very clear that this was handled correctly and the right way. Where I feel like a scene like this with the period and the homosexuality could have been like handled just like either overdone or underdone, and I feel like they was both done really well. And I think these are the things that the show does really well. I wonder if in season 2, the things that I think they don't do well, like the CGI and the action fighting stuff, will like take the next level up because it
Hope so.
looks because I think it like it's a big important part of the show, but it's clearly lacking compared to the actual like development of the characters, which is so well done.
Right.
And that storytelling of like the growing up and revealing and finding out about yourself.
Yeah.
At least
And not
that's
only
just
that. Like Brian K. Vaughan, got to give him some credit because, like, let's face it, they are just well-written characters. Like, they have a good foundation to build upon from the comic books, right?
totally. I mean, I think that's the only reason why we continued
Autofocus.
to
They call it
read the
Zoom for a reason. Like, you can't turn the fucking autofocus off.
oh geez. I think that's why. Like, I think that's why we continued to read the comics when there were parts of it where it was just like, ugh, what are we doing? It was literally those 4 girls who like kept us going through it because they were so well written. And I think that in 5 episodes, we've captured the 30 issues of those girls really well just already. Like I know them better from these 5 episodes than I would have from just reading the whole comic.
Yeah.
At least most
Yeah.
of them.
I
Not
agree.
Tiffany yet. Not Tiffany yet, but we will probably in the next episode because the way this episode ends, where she calls herself, I thought that was really cool. Where she like called her number and she actually picked up the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. So we'll see her. In the
And
next
and
episode.
older Tiffany is a big part of the comics, if I remember correctly. I feel like she's in it a lot. Her and her boyfriend.
It's so funny how like me and you remember different things from the comic book because yeah, we read this like 5, 6, 7 years ago, and like so we're both a little hazy on it. I don't remember older Tiffany from the comics at all. You know what I mean? Um,
I'm pretty sure she's there for like a whole volume.
you're probably right, dude. She maybe more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even remember. Like I don't even remember.
I
her
thought
being a
she was
character
there
in the
like
in the comics.
till the end when she shows up.
Maybe she might be one of those characters that like traveled with them through multiple eras. I don't know.
I think so. I do like how we're also not hopping around too much. We're spending time in an area like for an episode
Yeah.
or two. Like
Yeah,
I
and
think
that's-
probably at the end of episode 6, we'll find themselves zapping somewhere else. Because if you do it too much, it loses its like mystique.
Yeah. So well, they might
Like, and-
be here
and if
until
they
the
stay
end
in
of
it-
the season. You know,
Maybe.
who knows? Like we're on episode 5, so there's only 3 episodes left. 6, 7, 8. It's not. It wouldn't shock me if the next jump didn't come until the last moments of the finale,
True.
right? Because
How do you feel about the handling of the antagonists with Prioris and Grandfather? I feel like they're like
I feel like
nothing
that's the-
characters,
Yeah, I feel like that's the absolute weakest part of the show.
like story wise.
Yeah, there's not
Like it's
much.
clear there's a war going on, and it's clear that the old watch and the STVs or SVTs, what are they called?
STF, right?
STF, yeah. The like that's the war, and that the
Yeah.
the grandfather character and Prioris, like they're the bad guys, but and they're in pursuit of the girls because of time traveling shit. But like it doesn't seem like they're like it's kinds off kind of comic-y, like comic booky, where it's like
Yeah.
it's just silly. And they look silly with the way they dress because I guess because of futuristic stuff. Not so much him because he's wearing just like classic clothes, but like I don't know. I think it's one of those things that probably that didn't translate well from comic book to like real life, like doing it.
Yet,
Yeah.
anyway. You know what I mean?
I think it'll make more sense when they go into the future.
Yeah, when they're in their time, I think it'll kind of click a little bit more. And like they also just like for whatever reason don't feel like a huge threat so far. Like it just kind of
No,
feels
even
like
though they're always just like plotting against them, and even the mech fight, like I didn't feel like anyone was ever in danger, even though she fucking died.
like literally two people died, but it just didn't feel like that big of a deal. Like
Yeah.
I guess we know they feed people the dinosaurs and they erase people's minds. And I think the fact that like that so far is like the worst we've heard about them. The fact that we haven't seen them do that yet, like we haven't seen anyone's mind. I mean, we've seen people who have had their mind erased, but we haven't seen them go through the process of having their mind wiped. And so I
Yeah.
think you need to see that happen for it to feel like a real threat. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, that's it. You just said it. So now it's going to happen in episode 6.
100% gonna happen in episode 6. Watch.
Like I think you might be correct. Like I think something like that will happen. We have to make these bad guys feel like bad guys.
Yeah.
Whether they're justified in their reasoning for why they're going after the girls or not, they need to feel like bad guys.
100%.
Because if they're not, then what are we running from? The
Right.
I guess the major plot point and is getting back home, and like the act of getting home is the problem.
Yeah.
And not so much getting home while being chased by like a warring faction.
Right.
I don't know.
A lot of what's funny too is like I think Saga, Brian K. Vaughan's other comic book, suffers from the same problem. Like Saga is like also about a conflict.
Between two warring factions. Yeah.
And like we're like almost 60 issues into Saga, like 58, 59 issues in, and like it's just feel like that was like such a big deal in the beginning of the comic books, and now it feels like it's just not that big of a deal anymore. And so like I think kind of he puts this large conflict together and centers a story around it, and the conflict is something that just kind of happens in the background to move the story forward, I think. And I think you could say the same thing about Paper Girls. It's like the war on time travel is just this thing to kind of propel the girls from one place to the next. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, all these people, a lot of these two of them did. Tiffany, the actors that played Tiffany and Erin, they've changed their IMDb profiles since we started this. Okay, let's see. So let's jump into episode 6, a preview for that for the next episode. So episode 6 is called Matinee. And it is desperate to find a way home. Tiff leads the girls to her adult self, who accomplished so many of her childhood dreams, but she isn't everything that was expected. Together, they work to decode Larry's ledger as the old watch close in. Okay, so sounds like we're going to get to meet, obviously, older Tiffany in this episode, and we'll see what happens there. And I don't want to look too much into the characters of who's going to be in this, but it looks like some people will be back and leaving as well. Cool. This one's got a 7.8 on IMDb. Oh, we haven't checked in a few days. We haven't checked how the show is trending on Rotten Tomatoes and all that. And if it's gone up or down since more people have seen it. Let's see here. Everybody's talking about Batgirl getting canceled. Okay.
HBO Max. Rest in peace to the HBO
Dude,
Max.
Paper Girls, it's gone up, man. It's now number 4 on most popular TV.
Oh shit.
And yep. And chicka chicka boom boom. Will there be enough room? Oh, Sandman starts. Fuck. I just lost it. It is 88% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. That has definitely gone up since the.
Yeah, it was 86 last episode.
Yeah. Let's see what the audience gave it. If the audience is 83%, we're going up.
That's good.
Really going up. Yep, that's good stuff. So, it looks like we are on our way to season 2, if enough people watch it, which I think they will.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. I got nothing else for this episode. I mean, we pretty much covered it all.
Let's see here. I'm going to see if they have merch. That's how you always tell if a show is doing well. If like Amazon has merch.
Mm.
Probably not.
Maybe for season 2.
So stupid. Like, what do we know about the bikes in Amazon Prime's Paper Girls? What? This is what happens when you don't use Google, folks. I don't use Google. I use like 12 different search engines that are not trackable and not like Google or whatever. And so you wind up getting like shitty results because of it. Let's see. Paper Girls merch. Nothing. Of course, nothing. Back to school. I don't know. All right. Are you gonna watch episode 6 today?
I'm watching it today. Yeah.
I might watch it today as well.
Oh.
If it I have work a lot of work to do today, so we'll see if I get to it. But I got nothing else, folks. Please keep sharing, liking. Our numbers are going up as people are finding the show, and we appreciate that. We're on YouTube. If you just type in the Rude Dude Cast Paper Girls, you'll find us.
Yeah, you can watch the episode instead.
You can watch it. You watch our sexy butts. We are also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're probably in a lot of places that we don't know about with our new distribution services. Our podcast is kind of going everywhere. And so we will see. We will see because it looks like I just burned my hand. Have you ever burned your hand on your computer? I think it's just too hot.
I have not.
Dude, my fingers, I just put them like where the numbers are. It's where the fan is. I just like roasted them just by hanging out there.
Shit.
But yeah, you can find our podcast kind of everywhere. So please check it out. Tell your friends. Let us know what you think about Paper Girls. It's a show that we're enjoying, and we're gonna keep on keeping on. We only got a few more episodes left, so
3 remain.
All right, Dan. I will sign off, folks. Thanks so much for listening. It's your boy BMT. That's Dr. Dan. Deuces.
And wait.
What is that?
The shocker.
No, the shocker?
The shocker.
Why? Is that a thing again?
No, but it was at one time.
It's because of Dane
the
Cook.
Shocker. Dane Cook. Remember, there were people that had bumper stickers with the shocker on it.
Yeah, the people who put the shocker on the car, the same people that have Hobbs pissing on the Ford logo. Or Calvin. Like, what world do we live in where guys? This is the real Rude Dude Cast. This is the shit that we really talk about. Who was like, you know what would be cool? Let's put like Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes on a fucking car pissing on something. Like, why did that become a thing in the world? Like, it's just as bad as like the blue line American flags and the fucking Punisher logo being overtaken.
That's kind of where all that went, isn't it? Like, all the people that would have that on their car, like, totally, like, they would put that. I have Calvin pissing on the BLM logo on my elevated Dodge Ram. Like,
yeah, it's also like, I don't know, just I always think it's interesting. Like, you always see it like online at like a fast food place on the car. You just see like a fucking Jeep, like a Jeep that's like either pink or lime green. It's like, dirty girls drive Jeeps dirty. Shit like that. Like, why would you put that on your car?
People are fucking weird. That's why.
I also think bumper stickers are one of those weird things to put on cars because like they're hideous and huge. Like, I can get it if you have a piece of shit car, but if you have like a nice new car and you're like, vote for this person 2026, I'm like, come on, really? Like,
I don't know what's wrong with people.
I don't know, man.
All right.
All righty. Thanks for listening to us again. And thanks to the people who heard us twice today on Twitch and on here, because we did do this episode twice, which is hilarious.
We did.
I'm out. Happy Friday. Meeches and peaches.
Deuces and gooses.